This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter, and welcome you to another sports catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, March the 8th, is a player used to play for the in the NBA from 1987 to 1997, 87 to 97, playing for 6 teams. He played for more teams than I thought he did. But he did win back-to-back titles with Houston in 94 and 95. He played for North Carolina, which is a damn fine school. He was selected by Sacramento in the first round of the 87 draft and did well. But, of course, Kenny the Jet Smith is most notable for being a basketball commentator for Inside the NBA on TNT and also being part of the men's basketball tournament. So he's now 57 years old. I'd be a lot older. But anyway, he was a McDonald's All-American high school player and decided to go to North Carolina to play, which is pretty good. Kenny Smith actually was on the same team as Michael Jordan in the 1984 NCAA tournament. So Kenny Smith played with Michael Jordan for the 84 team that lost to Indiana in the Sweet 16. And that sucked. Michael Jordan then decided to go to the NBA draft, and Kenny Smith was basically the point guard of the team. Fortunately, though, the next year, in his sophomore year, Kenny Smith led North Carolina to the Elite Eight, losing to Villanova, who would be the national champion. North Carolina went to the Final Eight in 87 again. Well, Smith, as a senior, tried to do it, but Syracuse beat them 79-75. Anyway, during his career at North Carolina, Smith did very well for himself. And he ranked second in team history with total assists, which is amazing. Smith helped them get to 2 Elite Eight and a Sweet 16 appearance in his time there with North Carolina. North Carolina was never below the top 8 in Smith's 4 years at the school, so that's amazing and all that. He even helped the U.S. win the 1986 men's basketball world championships over the Soviets. So Sacramento had the 6th pick in the 1987 draft. I think I did something on a draft pick. Did I do one on Reggie Miller? No, I did one on Kevin Johnson. Oh, last week I did one on Kevin Johnson, and now the number 6 pick in that 87 draft will be. So Kenny Smith was the first point guard taken in the 87 draft, and Sacramento knew they needed him. So he was part of the all-rookie team and all that. Bill Russell was actually the head coach of Sacramento at that time before he was fired 58 games into the 88 season. Oh, yeah, I think I did something on Bill Russell that I mentioned he was a Sacramento head coach. I don't know. But anyway, a few years later, Sacramento traded him to Atlanta. He wasn't a starter. He would be off the bench of the backup to Doc Rivers, who was team captain of the Hawks at the time. And then Doc Rivers aside, and then the Hawks decided after a failed playoff push they would trade him to Houston, where he would spend 6 years helping Rudy Tomjanovich become a good coach. So anyway, Smith did good for himself. And the Rockets were decent in the 90s. In 93, they almost took down Seattle in the second round of the playoffs, but lost Game 7. But if it wasn't for Smith's performance in Game 6, Houston would not have forced Game 7. However, Smith was starting point guard on the winning championship teams in 94 and 95. Smith did pretty well for himself. All that. His famous game in the playoffs was 95, Game 1 of the NBA Finals against Orlando, in which Nick Anderson did a total choke job at the free throw line. But Kenny Smith made a magical three-pointer with time ticking down to force overtime. He made 7 3-pointers, which was an NBA record at the time for the finals. Rockets would win the game in overtime, 120-118, and sweep Orlando in 4. However, Sam Cassell was coming into his own, and Kenny Smith was losing playing time to him. But he was still the starting point guard. the minutes per game did not do well for productive. Houston would be swept in the second round by Seattle. And then the Rockets decided to release him after the 96 season because they believe in Sam Cassell. They could have just traded him, but they released him. Detroit signed him. He only played 9 games before being waived. And then Orlando got him, but he only played for them for 6 games. So Kenny Smith was just bouncing around. Then he went to Denver, where he got the playing time because Denver really sucked, so they had nothing to lose. So Kenny Smith holds records for stuff with the Kings and the Rockets. But anyway, yeah, 97 was not his best year. He played for 3 teams and played 48 games. So, yeah, 12.8 points per game and 5.5 assists. So, yeah, he was good for Houston. The only time he made the playoffs was with Houston, including those 2 runs in 94-95, which he won the title. Smith would become a studio analyst for Turner Sports for the playoffs. And then he's now working with Ernie Johnson, Charles Barkley, and Shaq on Inside the NBA. Great studio show that everyone gets for themselves. Kenny Smith is an analyst for March Madness, which is coming up soon. Anyway, yeah. So, anyway. There were teams that wanted to boycott games August 2020 in the NBA because of the shooting of Jacob Blake. So he left the set to show solidarity. But the live broadcast was turned into a panel discussion because the games were postponed, after all. Kenny Smith was married twice. First to Dawn and had 2 children. His daughter Kayla is an R&B singer, and his son KJ plays for North Carolina. KJ Smith. And then Smith met an English model, Gwendolyn Osborne. 2004, married in 2006. They have 2 children, Malloy and London. Because Gwendolyn used to be a model on Price is Right, too. But they've divorced since 2018. But Kenny Smith, yeah. It's funny seeing the stuff for Inside the NBA and TNT. And let's not forget Kenny Smith's comments during the slam dunk competitions. You know, the 2000 slam dunk competition. When Vince Carter did his windmill dunk, you could hear him say, "Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home." Hey, sign the check. Give him the check. Let's play for second place. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. Wow. Kenny Smith breathes a good breath when he does the slam dunk competitions. It's like he's excited. He's generally excited about all these competitions. I've seen something I've never seen before. I mean, the guy's great. I mean, I like him as a commentator and all that. Fight me on it. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.